There are some memories that get erased, others fade, while only a few get stronger by the day. The events of September 19, 2007 belong to the third category. The Kingsmead Cricket Ground in Durban was a sea of Indian tricolours. India were taking on England. They had moved to 17-13 when the 19th over started. Stuart Broad had the ball in his hands and Yuvraj Singh was on strike. Now, Yuvraj was known for his six-hitting abilities before that, but what happened in Broad's over was not what many would have foreseen. Herschelle Gibbs had done it during the 50-over World Cup earlier in March that year against Netherlands. 6 sixes in an over are a rarity even in backyard cricket. But a decade ago that's exactly what Yuvraj did to become the first Indian to do so. In an interview to Mirror, Yuvraj recalled that magical night. Read on. The first question asked to you that night in Durban was, can you recall where you hit the 6 sixes? Can you do that? A decade later for us there are some moments which are so momentous that they get etched in your memory forever. Let's see now. Ball 1 out of the park, over cow corner. Ball 2 flicked off my legs over the fence at deep square leg. Ball 3 deep long off boundary. Ball 4 this one was across the fence at backward point. Ball 5 another delivery sails over mid-wicket. Ball 6 over the long in boundary. It was 17-13 in 18 overs. Captain MS Dhoni was at the other end. What was the conversation at the start of the over? Swing as hard as you can. Everyone talks about that verbal duel with Andrew Flintoff before the start of that over and how that energized you. How much do you think the 6 sixes were about that duel more than the verbal argument? What got me going was the sheer focus. The level of concentration was so intense that everything else pretty much zoned out. Had this idea of hitting 6 sixes in an over ever occurred to you before? Did your father ever talk about achieving something like that? My father never wanted me to hit the ball in the air and always wanted me to play it down the ground. I had no plans to hit 6 sixes. I was lucky all the balls were in my area and I was able to connect. Was your mind blank before that 6th ball? And what were you thinking as you watched that ball sail over the boundary? I was just thinking of hitting the ball straight because I knew he would try to bowl a Yorker. 6 sixes and you exchange a fist punch with Dhoni. Can you recall the chat with him? Well, the conversation was about how I gave back what I had received at the start of the over. When was the first time you met Broad after that night in Flintoff? How did those meetings go? What was said after the match? We just congratulated each other and had a friendly banter, as I and Flintoff always had arguments on the field and friendly banter off it. That is the spirit of the game. Is there a particular reaction in the dressing room you remember from that night? One of the best nights of my cricketing career. The environment of the dressing room was upbeat. It was a night that I slept smiling and mentally preparing for the next game.